educator Priyanka Thakur teaching you life sciences and welcome you all on our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. So guys, we are currently knowing about animal tissues, and this is the animal tissue part 3 in which we will come to know about nervous tissue, muscle tissue. Along with that, we are also going to do some MCQs on this particular topic, animal tissues. Okay, if you haven't watched the previous two videos in which I have covered the epithelial tissue and connective tissue, then do watch them. Okay, but today let's start with our today's topic, which is about nervous tissue and muscle tissue. Fine. So nervous tissue, remember one thing about this tissue, that it arises from node of Hansen, and which give rise to nervous streaks during early stages of embryogenesis. This node of Hansen will give rise to nervous tissue during embryonic stage. Okay, it is made up of, nervous tissue is made up of neurons and neuroglia, and both of these cells have their unique characteristics. Okay, mainly nervous tissue is composed of neurons and neuroglia. You need to remember this thing. Okay, so neurons, these are specialized cells that are going to generate and conduct electrical activities. Okay, remember what you have to remember, that neurons are specialized cells that generate and conduct electrical activities. These are responsible for nerve impulses. While what is the role of neuroglia? Neuroglia provides structural support to the neuron. What is a neuron doing? Neuron is doing what? Neuron is responsible for nerve impulses, but neuroglia is providing the structural support to the neuron. Now, neuroglia, they function to bind neurons together, and they can influence nourishment and electrical activity of neurons, because they are supporting neurons, so they can influence the nourishment and electrical activity of neurons. Neurons mainly consist of, each neuron mainly consists of a cell body, dendrites, and an axon. Cell body, this is the only one cell. Cell body, dendrites, and an axon, these are forming a single cell, and the portion we call cell body, it consists of nucleus, and this nucleus serves as the metabolic center for the cell. Then comes the dendrites. Dendrites are the extension of cell body. Remember this thing, that dendrites are the extension of cell body. They receive the information from other neurons or receptor cell, and then through axon, this information is passed to the another neuron. Okay, see the axon. As I told you, dendrites will receive the information, they will transmit it to the cell body, and it will be transmitted into the axon. Axon conduct the nerve impulses from the cell body to another neuron or effector muscle gland or any other cell. Okay, you understand each and everything very well? Okay, fine, great, keep it up. Fine, so we come to know about cell body, dendrites, and axon. Remember one thing, dendrites will receive the information. They will send it to cell body then send it to the axon, and through axon terminal, this information then will be sent to the dendrites of another neuron, and again the information will travel through axon and to the synaptic terminal or axon terminal, and then again the information will be transferred to the third neuron, and then to the fourth, and so on. Okay, so neurons tissue occurs centrally in the brain and the spinal cord, and peripherally we will see bundles of fibers. These bundles of fibers in the peripheral region carry the message to all the parts and are called nerves. Okay, the nervous tissue in the peripheral region is called nerves. This is the structure of a neuron. In neuron, we see cell body, we see axon, and we see synaptic terminals. Okay, these are the dendrites. As we can see, these are the extensions of cell body. This is the axon hillock. Axon may be myelinated or non-myelinated. When myelinated, you will see at a place where two sheaths, myelin sheaths are fused. Okay, Schwann cell will be present in the axon. Okay, Schwann cells will be there, and if the myelinated if neuron is myelinated, then there will be the formation of what? Node of Frenville also. Fine. Okay. Then this is the Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. And mitochondrion. You understand each and everything now? If you have any confusion regarding anything, you can comment down in the comment box. So this is all. These are all the basics about the neuron, nervous tissue. We will further study it in detail when we will be studying the different systems, and we will study the nervous tissue in detail while studying the nervous system. Okay. Now let's know about muscle tissue. What is muscle tissue? Muscle tissue are found in animals, and what is the function of muscle tissue? It is going to perform the function of contraction, and it can function by contracting. Thereby it can apply forces to different parts of the body. Muscles can contract, and that's why they can apply different forces to different parts of the body. Muscle tissue consists of fibers of muscle cells. Okay, muscle tissue will have fibers of muscle cells which will be connected together. Fibers of muscle cells will be connected together in the sheet and fibers forms. Okay, together these sheets and fibers are known as muscles, and they control the movement of organism as well as many other contractile functions. There are mainly three types of muscles found in the animals, depending on where they are located, what kind of structure they are having, and what function they are going to perform. First is skeletal muscle, then comes the smooth muscles, and then comes the cardiac muscles. Okay, let's come to know about these muscles. As you can see, smooth muscle, there is no striation, but striation is there in the cardiac muscle. Branching is there in the cardiac muscles, but skeletal muscle, these are having the striation, but they are not having any branching. So more complex striation and branching is seen in the cardiac muscles and not in the skeletal muscles. These muscles are connected to intercalated disc, cardiac muscles. Okay, so let's first know about the skeletal muscle tissue. Skeletal muscle tissue, it is a type of striated muscle, meaning we can see clear bands. We just saw clear bands in the skeletal muscle tissue. One will be like light, another will be dark, and between two light bands we see the sarcomeres. Okay, these are actually, the skeletal muscles are highly organized bundles of actin, myosin, and other associated proteins. Okay, because of these bundles of actin, myosin, and other proteins, these bundles allow these striated muscles to contract quickly and release quickly. Muscle tissue is attached to the bone through tendons. Tendon is what? Tendon is a connective tissue which is having more elastic fibers, and it is a dense regular connective tissue. Skeletal muscle tissue, it is controlled voluntarily. Like if I want to move, I can move. If I want to move my leg, I can move my leg. If I want to move my hands, like in any direction, I can move my hands. So it is I'm doing it voluntarily. So it is under the influence of somatic nervous system. While the muscles which cannot be controlled voluntarily, such muscles are called involuntary muscles. Like I cannot control the beating of my heart. Okay, so these muscles are under autonomous nervous system. Fine. Okay, so let's come to know about smooth muscles tissue now. Except skeletal muscles, smooth muscles and cardiac muscles are involuntary muscles which are under the control of autonomous nervous system. Smooth muscle tissues, like skeletal muscle tissue, they have skeletal muscle tissue have striation, but smooth muscle tissue does not have striation. They are also made up of myosin and actin. Okay, but they have smooth muscle fiber organized into muscle tissue. Okay, but smooth muscle, they can contract, and they can also can do what? They can also apply the force on organism. But they are not as quick as skeletal muscles, and they are not as much rapid. Rather than they are smooth and continuous. Okay, they are mainly found in the organs. They are mainly found in the organs. Actually, they are surrounding the organs. Okay, they are found surrounding many organs like blood vessels and other vessels, whoever are transporting fluids. Smooth muscles can contract. As I told you, they can contract and apply a force on the organ. we can see smooth muscle in our alimentary canal also. They can be used to move blood or food throughout their respective system. Smooth muscle is, you can recognize the smooth muscle. How can you recognize the smooth muscle? You can see there is no branching in the smooth muscles, and they do not even have any striation in them. So smooth muscles can be recognized easily, where they can be seen I'm sorry, they can be seen where? In alimentary canal and blood vessels, or all the vessels which are performing their function in the transport of different body fluids. And then comes the cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles, as the name suggests, they are present in the heart. Like skeletal muscles, they will also have striation. Striation is present in cardiac muscles. Okay, but see, they are involuntary. Like smooth muscles, they are involuntary, but like skeletal muscles, they have striation. Striation in skeletal muscle is usually even in parallel, while in cardiac muscle this striation is complex, and I show you through the diagram that you can see branching striation in cardiac muscles which is absent in skeletal muscles. Branching is caused by the connection of cardiac muscle fibers to one another, and they are connected through intercalated disc. Okay, and these junctures help cardiac muscles to contract as one. The cardiac muscle contract as one and provide a rapid and coordinated contraction to move the blood. So you know why cardiac muscles mostly they contract in a coordinated way, because they are connected through the intercalated disc, and these junctions cause the contraction of these muscles all together in a coordinated fashion. Okay, so this is all about muscle tissue and what your nervous tissue. Now let's do some questions on these tissues. Okay, if you haven't watched the previous two videos, do watch them. They are definitely going to help you. If you know about epithelial tissue, connective tissue, then that's fine. Stay connected with us and keep watching other videos as well. In the next lecture, we are probably going to cover either the circulatory system or the respiratory system. So let's start with today's practice session. This is the first question on your screen. The only connective tissue which does not have any fibroblasts is blood. D is the right answer. Other tissue possess fibroblasts. Okay. Next question on your screens. In these tissue cells, lacunae are enclosed, like in cartilage, lacunae are closed. In bone tissue also, lacunae are closed. So C is the right answer. Both A and B are the right options. So main right answer is actually C. Next question on your screens. These are brain macrophages. Brain macrophages are microglial cells. B is the right answer. Next question on your screens. Categorization of epithelial tissue is based on structural modification and not on function only or types of matrix or non-voluntary or voluntary actions. So C is the right option. Next question on your screens. This is correct about epithelial tissue, that they do not have blood supply. They lack blood supply. B is the right option. Next question on your screens. This is not a function of neuroglia. They can perform phagocytosis, isolate neurons, they can secrete cerebrospinal fluid, but they are not having any role in information processing. D is the right answer. Next question on your screens. Where are intercalated discs found? They are found in cardiac muscles. T is the right answer. Next question on your screens. Okay. What type of glands are sebaceous glands? These are exocrine gland. A is the right answer. Next question on your screen. Hemotoxic venom, such as the one found in the cobra, induce the destruction of red blood cells. Okay, A is the right answer. Last question on your screens. The largest quantity of extracellular materials are found in the areolar tissue. C is the right option. That's all for today. In the next video, we are going to talk about most probably either on the respiratory system or on the circulatory system. So stay tuned. If you want to prepare for your CSIR NET June 2021, you can take the subscription of Unacademy. You have the details of paid classes on your screen. You still can get 10% off by using the referral code Neha, which is the referral code of Neha Tanisha ma'am. Go there and follow her. She is going to mentor you. She's going to be your educator for CSIR NET 2021. That's all for today. But do not forget to press the bell icon and very first subscribe to do subscribe to our channel and then press the bell icon. If you want to join us at other platforms, then check out the description box. You will get the links to our different platforms on a single click. You will be there with us on our platform.